let's do it on a Friday. Good to have you with us here on Ed Schultz News and Commentary from Washington, D.C., Center for American Progress. Big announcement yesterday. I'm back on the tube. It starts on January 25th, the Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, prime time, baby. RT America. That's Russian television, American division. Looking forward to it. Interesting to see all the response from conservatives who don't know their ass from third base, and all these right-wing websites that draw conclusions and write stuff. Never called me. Never called me. You know, you can go to Mediaite, you can go to TV Newser, you can go to Republic, you go to all of them. They ain't worth a shit. None of them. They don't have any reporters. They just have these little kids playing on computers down in their basement and whatnot. Oh, he said that. He said this. She said this. She said that. And that's the extent of the journalism. And I'm bought and paid for by the Kremlin. It's hilarious. I give credit to my hometown newspaper, The Forum in Fargo. They actually called me and did an interview. And so go to their website, in-forum.com, and you can see the story. And give the show a chance. Of course, with conservatives, you can't win. What I do want to point out this morning early is that on Facebook, We Got Ed, it's very uplifting to see all those positive comments that you have missed my work on television and you're glad that I'm getting back. And many of you are saying that you're going to go get satellite. That's fine with me. Welcome aboard. It's going to be a good program. I tell you what, I've been here for the last couple of weeks. The folks at RT America, they are true professionals and journalists across the board. And it's going to be a serious look at the news, a nightly news package at 8 o'clock Eastern, anchored here out of Washington, D.C., starting on January 25th, a Monday. All right, now with that, you know, there's always the money soundbite. There's always a soundbite during a news cycle that will jump out and get the attention. And I'm talking about a soundbite, not who said what about who or whatever or going back and forth, something of substance. And that's what I try to do on this video cast every day, is to bring you something of substance. Just as yesterday we spoke with a constitutional lawyer who said that Ted Cruz certainly cannot be president of the United States based on the Constitution. Well, that was a big story last night when the Republicans debated. But what was the money soundbite? Now, I want you to listen very closely to Governor John Kasich of Ohio. It's almost as if he's reading right out of the ledger of Leo Gerard, the Steelworkers International president. Listen to this.
I'm a free trader. I supported NAFTA. I believe in the PTT because it's important those countries in Asia are an interface against China. For too long, what happens is somebody dumps their product in our country and takes our people's jobs, and then we go to an international court, and it takes them like a year or two to figure out whether they were cheating us. And guess what? The worker's out of a job. So when they be found against that country that's selling products in here lower than the cost of what it takes to produce them, then what do we tell the worker? Oh, well, you know, it just didn't work out for you. I think we should be for free trade, but I think fair trade. And when countries violate trade agreements or dump products in this country, we need to stand up against those countries that do that without making them into an enemy. And I want to just suggest to you, how do I know this? Because so many people in my family worked in steel mills, and they didn't work with a white collar, they worked in a blue collar. And the fact is, those jobs are critical. They're hardworking members of the middle class, and they need to be paid attention to because they're Americans and they carry the load.
All right, so let's go just a little bit further here. Those are union workers, Mr. Kasich. So are you finally revealing that you have family members who are in unions and that you tried to bust them up in Ohio? But that's another story. The point here is that he understands what undercuts American workers. What he failed to do was point to everybody else on that stage last night and say, all of these guys are for the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is going to be 40% of the world's gross domestic product. All of these guys are for it. I'm not for it. I won't let it happen. But wait a minute. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit because he never said he was against the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He didn't say, I'm against it. It won't happen if I'm president. So here's Kasich letting the American people and workers know that he understands the issue, but he just went up to the lake and put his toe in. He didn't jump in all the way with the workers saying, I'm going to be with you all the way. And they're so slick in the way they do things. Look, if the Republicans are in unless it's Trump, we run a real danger of gutting more American jobs. That's the point. But at least we know now that everybody on that stage knows where Kasich is, and everybody knows what the issues are. And they have no problem with gutting American jobs because they all favor Wall Street and big money. They're all a bunch of damn corporatists that don't give a shit about the American middle class. That's the bottom line. Okay? Got it? All right. This is Ed Schultz News and Commentary, brought to you by Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, BioGreen Clean, and the iSave team. Speaking of Ohio, let's go to former State Senator Nina Turner from Ohio. Senator, good to have you with us.
Good morning, Big Eddie.
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine.
Well, you are the campaign surrogate working closely with Bernie Sanders' campaign. What'd you think of the Republican debate last night when Kasich was talking about the Trans-Pacific Partnership? He understands it, but he didn't say where he stood on the issue.
I know. Well, the governor was in Congress, as we all know, and the TPP is really bad. It's bad for Ohio. It's bad for workers all across the country. So I'm not quite sure where the governor stands on the TPP, but as we know, the other folks on that stage who are in the Congress right now did support the TPP. And Ohio, in terms of our manufacturing jobs, our steel, our cars, as we know that the auto bailout helped the auto industry and our workers here in Ohio, those types of trade deals have been really bad for a state like Ohio. And I'm still shaking my head as to why, even our president, this was his deal.
There's no doubt. It's a head shaker, no question about it.